Hello physical fiends, it's Jordan here again with some just announced physical releases. These are games that were just announced in the past week or two. They are not releasing this week. Cat Quest Fur-Tastic Trilogy is a very recent announcement. I think due to contractual obligations they couldn't announce this until Cat Quest 3 actually came out, and I think it's a bit of an unfortunate timing. Seems like they didn't read the room very well. Just as the third game came out, everyone stroking their brand new copy of it, they announced this really affordable triple pack. But anyways, it's 3 games in one. Apparently the series keeps getting better and better. And if you want to pre-order it or any of the retail games in this episode, please consider using the links in the description. That massively helps me out. You can pre-order from VGP with any of the links down below, and it really does help the channel. They're a really good company with free worldwide shipping if you purchase something over 80 Canadian dollars, and I really appreciate it. Morkull Ragast Rage is a European exclusive title on Switch and PS5, but VGP will be carrying some copies of it. I've got to be honest, this looks as standard and as generic as it can get when it comes to action platformers. I know it's supposed to be all hand-drawn animation, but it looks really stiff. The only gimmick or selling point for this is that the character constantly breaks the fourth wall where he talks to the player. I don't know. As a bonus from VGP, despite being only 50 Canadian dollars, is instant free shipping on this one. Darkest Dungeon 2 is a pretty big announcement for a physical release. The digital version came out not too long ago. Now they're wanting the double dippers with the physical release in late October. It's releasing on Switch, PS5 and Xbox, and reviews for this have been pretty good. Although I think more hardcore fans of the original were a bit disappointed because it's not trying to be more of the same, it's different, but with the same vibe and tone. World of Goo 2 is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch in late October. This is the long-awaited sequel to the classic downloadable Wii game. It was like one of the essentials if you ever ventured onto the Wii store. I've never actually played it because I don't think it has flamethrowers or anime babes, but I've been told this is an excellent sequel. Faith, the Unholy Trinity is also coming to the Switch in late October. This is a very lo-fi game. It's spectrum levels of graphics, but don't judge a book by its cover because this game is supposedly excellent with overwhelmingly positive reviews over on Steam. It's horror, very disturbing, perfect fodder for Let's Players on YouTube. Do they still exist? I don't know. It looks great. I'm definitely going to be picking this one up one day. The Last Time I Saw You is getting a physical release in Europe, but don't worry, VGP will be getting some versions on the Switch and PS5 in both a standard and collector's edition. This game hasn't released as of yet, not even digitally, but it looks like a pretty sweet narrative-driven game with some elements of action and platforming. The trailer actually reminds me of A Space for the Unbound, which is a game that I really love. So yeah, this is interesting. The special edition comes with a soundtrack CD and some cards and pictures. Barbie Team Friendship is releasing on Switch, PS4, PS5 and Xbox. Do I need to say any more than that? Hell no, you've already bought it. I know you have, don't lie. A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead is an upcoming horror game that's based off a movie series I've never heard of. I mean, I've heard of A Quiet Place, but I had no idea there were sequels, hence a series. This is published by Saber Interactive, who usually do good stuff, and developed by Stormwind Games, who did Batora and Remothered, so yeah, it could be good. It's releasing physically on PS5 and Xbox in October. Sunsoft is back. Retro Game Collection is getting a physical release in Europe on the PlayStation 5, not on the Switch for some reason. VGP will be carrying some copies of this, even though I know it is quite limited. This contains English versions of 3 old-ass Sunsoft games, the first time they've been in English. The Wing of Mandula, Firework Thrower, Kantaro's 53 Stations of the Tokaido, bloody hell that's a long one, and Ripple Island. I think it's fascinating that these are finally getting English releases. It always makes me happy to hear that, but I do have to think about, is this actual value for money? Maybe that's why there's no Switch version. Perhaps they couldn't make it affordable enough for a Switch cartridge. But Gaiden was put up for pre-order at Premium Edition Games on Monday. This is a super solid action platformer that's a good mix of Ninja Gaiden and a bit of Mega Man. It's got a super colorful comic book art style and interesting gameplay. It's hard but not painfully hard, and it strikes just the right balance. At Premium Edition Games, you can get this on PS5, PS4, and Switch. You can pre-order it right now in various editions. And just for disclosure's sake, I work with Premium Edition Games, so take anything I say, with that in mind. I still think it's a good game though, okay? Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, I should talk about this, even though I made a whole short video on the subject yesterday. So in Europe and North America, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is finally getting a new print. Yes, a Western one. This was one of the rarest and most expensive physicals to get a hold of, like on eBay, especially the PS4 version, which people have been asking thousands of dollars for, which is insane. This is because the original print sold out in about 5 minutes while everyone was sleeping, and everyone got mad. It's why the Asian release on the Switch was such a popular import, but sadly Asia did not get the PS4 release, so yeah. Anyways, what I'm saying is, if you are holding out for the Western version, like you didn't fancy importing, or you're an ESRB collector, then now is the time to get this brand new print of a very rare game where you don't have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for it. You get 6 classic JRPGs on one cartridge or disc, and yeah, you get a nice little sticker sheet with it as well. Wildermyth is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 in October. Everything's October. This is a strategy RPG, although everything is procedurally generated, which I'm not a massive fan of, since everything tends to either play the same or be completely random. But this is very positively received, so what do I know? Alright, let's jump into some import announcements. Links below for these are for Play Asia, and if you click the link, you can get 5% off with the code Jordan24. Sushi Shot is a quad pack of small titles. It includes Sushi Shot and Shot Online, which appear to be an upside down version of that watermelon game that went viral. Basically, Puzzle Bobble, but the sushi gets bigger when you combine them. There's also Sushi Race, which I have to be honest, looks so amazingly crap in a good way, and also Sushi Drop, where you stack them up and try to not let them tumble over. Gotta be honest, I am all over this release. I don't know why, but it's got variety, it's got personality, and even better, they've got English, okay? It's coming in November, and I have pre-ordered it already. Grime is getting a physical release in Japan and Asia with English. That's despite Super Rare Games very recently taking pre-orders for their version. Usually they are so protective. Anyways, I don't think it's a big deal, since despite the game being very well received, I think the Switch version was a bit ill-advised or not done as well as it could have been. It's releasing at the end of November. Symphonic Rain has been out digitally for many years on the Switch, only on the Japanese eShop and only in Japanese, but according to the publisher, there is an upcoming physical release on the Switch which will now include multiple languages, including English. So, if you want a taste of this supposedly very good visual novel, you'll have to keep your eyes on November. It's coming in a standard and collector's edition, which comes with an actual novel, which will still be in Japanese, probably. Daymare 1994 Sandcastle is an upcoming import exclusive for the Switch. This has many placeholder listings for a Western Switch physical, but unlike the PlayStation and Xbox releases, the Switch version never materialized. It seems like it was cancelled. I don't know why. But if you really want it on Switch, well, there is a Japanese physical coming in September in a standard and collector's edition, which includes a sticker set, metal card, art print, and badge set. It's supposed to be a horror game, and it will have English. Under Defeat is a classic PS3 arcade shooter that reminds me heavily of Zero Gunner, one of my favorite shooters ever. I've never played this, but I want to when it releases on Switch and PS4 at the end of the year. This was literally just announced as I'm writing this, so there's been no word of languages as of yet, nor hints of a Western physical release, but, anything could happen. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a few announcements from the past few weeks. Please let me know in the comments which new announcement has taken your fancy the most. And of course, if you'd like to pre-order them, then please consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. That really helps me out so much, and I really do appreciate your support. You are all wonderful people, and I hope you all have a magnificent weekend. It's almost here, guys.